Peace, peace, and welcome. I am here with a lovely young lady that's going to teach us a quick overview of all things crypto. Jouell, right? Did I pronounce your first name correctly?
Yes, Jouell, Wright. That's correct.
Jouell, right?
Mhm.
I came across Jouell's profile on Twitter, so we're connected to a lot of the same people. And I'm one of these anti-crypto people. So,
Oh no.
so hopefully we can get into a little bit of her worldview, her upbringing, um, and talk about crypto. She's giving me the boss treatment, so I only have her for a few minutes. But we're gonna make the most
Uh,
of it.
oh no, my goodness. All right, let's make the best of it.
Yeah, yeah. So, how is quarantine going? What's going on with you?
Quarantine so far has been going well. It is a little different because, we're used to being fast paced, going out and moving around. So being in solitude is a little different for an everyday thing, but it's actually nice to kind of wind down and have more time for reading, learning, and other things that you normally wouldn't have time to do. So I'm making the best of it, trying to read more, learn more, and so far so good. I can't wait for it to be over, honestly, because I am getting a little bit anxious and ready to go out, maybe to a park or a museum or zoo, something. Other than that, it's pretty good and making the best of it. What about for you?
Yeah, I've actually doubled down a lot on these podcasts, and it definitely I share a lot of the sentiment around getting a little anxious. Um,
Hmm.
my grandmother is 85, and so I'm over there a lot. So I'm in the middle of a campaign, and I haven't done as much of that because I want to be able to go over there and not feel nervous about getting her ill. Are you based in San
Yeah.
Francisco? Where are you based?
Sacramento as of now. Yeah, from San
Uh,
Francisco, but currently I reside in Sacramento.
did you grow
Hmm.
up in the city in San Francisco?
Yeah, I grew up in San Francisco. My family's from Bayview, Hunters Point. I grew up
Yeah.
near 19th Avenue and went to school out in the city. So, yeah, my roots are there. I definitely want to go back maybe down the road, but right now I'm out in Sacramento, in the state capital.
Hmm. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school in two different places. I relocated to Merced, and then I graduated in Sacramento at Hiram Johnson.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
A 94124 baby
Yeah, I'm
out
kind
there
of like a
doing.
Northern Cali baby, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So about crypto.
Mhm.
Like this, give us a little
All right.
background on what you do in the space currently.
Mhm.
Based on some of the stuff I've seen you do, I know you're a valid person to talk on the topic. But what is your
Yeah.
connection to crypto?
Sure. So in crypto, I kind of got into it around 2013, 2014, with Ross Ulbricht. He's the founder of Silk Road, which was like a dark web website that ended up going down. So I kind of was skeptical like you, a little anti-crypto at first. And I was like, this seems like not legit. It seems like people who are doing crimes are into it. And when I really started to realize this stuff is keeping up, when Wall Street Journal would keep up with it and all of the other stock exchanges would start saying, hey, it's reaching $1,000, it keeps climbing. So I was like, wow, the volatility is high. This stuff keeps growing. So I started to learn more, and I ended up at Draper U. It's a university founded by Tim Draper, a venture capitalist. And he actually was one of the guys who purchased all of Ross Ulbricht's crypto Bitcoins at a state auction when they were taken and seized from him. So while I was there, I was hearing everyone from around the world, entrepreneurs from around the world saying, this crypto stuff is good, it's growing. I still was skeptical, telling everyone why I was anti. Like, once you download it, it stays on your computer. It's weird. It's kind of like a tracker. I don't know. And so I started to see, wait a minute, in 2016, things like Ethereum, which is an altcoin, and Bitcoin, they started to rise again, and I was getting more interested. So I saw Ethereum go from maybe like $1 up to 200, 300, and I was like, okay, this stuff is serious. So I started getting back on board, telling my family, like, we need to get a wallet, and that's where you purchase your stuff. So that's pretty much where my interest started. I had been watching it for years, and like I mentioned, I wasn't pro crypto at all until I started to see the benefits of it globally. And then when I dug deeper into the rabbit hole, I realized this could be beneficial for people who are unbanked around the world. And I started to realize in our own communities, the demographics show like some people don't have bank accounts. They have to go through third parties like Western Union or check cashing places. So this was an opportunity for people to kind of start new and have a fresh start. You don't have to be based by your credit or anything. You can buy as little as $1 of it. So that's what really got me interested. And I started to realize people around the world were also interested. And by last year, 2019, when I saw what happened in Venezuela, when all of their currency just collapsed, and you could see, if you go online, you could see photos of like Venezuelan currency all over the ground and people walking over it. And now we have like Lebanon, the economic crisis. Now I'm really like seeing this is something that people should be paying attention to. And people need to also start getting on board and learning about it, learning how to use the technology, and just kind of knowing that this may be something for the future. Because the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, has also mentioned last year this could be a potential threat to the fiat system that we're used to. So now when you hear people like that, world leaders who are controlling all of our currencies and monies, this is something to pay attention to. And you see our dollar bill right now, we're printing out tons of money. With the coronavirus, things are uneasy and uncertain. We're kind of like teaching people, get away from cash, let's do all digital, use your credit card only in some places. So they're kind of, I feel like they're preparing us. And I now more than ever want more people to be on board with this stuff. So that way you get your foot in the door before it's too late, because the price can end up shooting up and you want to be on board when it does.
Yeah, I think my major issue with this. So I know there was some recent news about a big hedge fund person putting 2% of his assets in Bitcoin, and it seems like my uninformed opinion is that it is, it's like it's some cool stuff to have exposure to, and you should only really do it if you have the money to lose, and unless you're over a certain net worth, I don't think you should be putting your money toward things that are unstable. So like I've heard about these two different arguments, right? One being access to the volatility, and then the other being a resource for the unbanked. The resource for the unbanked piece is something that is based on my early conversations about it, is newer. It's been more about taking gains to something that's really volatile. And so in a quick admission about the first time crypto became something that actually helped me, and I haven't told the story before, but I ran a nonprofit called Mission Bit, and we teach coding in high schools across the Bay Area. I was CEO of Mission Bit for 5 years. Wow. And early on in the organization's founding, somebody donated some crypto to the organization. I think it was called, the crypto's like Stellar or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of Stellar. Yeah.
And so the organization was out of money, and we had to go find, like running a business, running anything when you're looking at payroll. You're like, yo, we gotta go get it somewhere. and that was a whole eye. And so we were having a board meeting. One of the board members was like, yeah, we have this crypto. It was given to us. It's worth $30,000 now. And I was like, you know,
Yeah, it caught your attention, right?
yeah. So we sold the crypto and kept the organization afloat. Um,
Wow.
and so that got us to the, then we raised more money, but it gave us some runway. So, so I'm
Wow,
not
that's awesome.
like there's like a tangible thing that happened to me, right? But it was just kind of like a
Yeah.
fluke. Um,
Wow.
if someone's in a desperate situation,
Hmm.
like the organization was, we had something to trade in, you know. But
Right.
it being an actual real thing, it's only valuable because we got money from it. Like we couldn't actually use the crypto. I couldn't pay people in crypto, you know.
Right.
They
Hmm.
couldn't pay their rent in crypto. So for you, what do you do for a living now?
Excuse me?
What's your
Where?
career? What do you do for a living?
Oh, okay. So I have a mobile repair company I started, iGalaxy LLC, and I taught myself to repair iPhones. I was tired of breaking them over and over, and it got to a point where I kind of just went hands-on. And then I trained at a kiosk at the mall for 6 months, learned all the different models. I was like the only girl there. Everyone was like all guys, and it was kind of intimidating at first, but once I got past that, I was like, wow, this is cool, because they were bringing in about $1,000 to $1,500 a day just on phone repairs, doing 4 or 5 phones. So I kind of decided I can do this myself. I launched on Groupon, and so that's what I do for one of my cash flows. And then I'm also do some stuff like in the markets where I do a little buying and selling of different crypto stocks and things like that. So that's what I do for my background,
Okay. And
monetary.
so, have you ever accepted? Are you ready to accept payment via crypto?
Yes. Yes, I have it on the website. We accept crypto. I definitely push that.
What do people pay
Have
for?
I ever?
Just so
Hmm.
I'm clear, what do people when people are using crypto? What are they buying from you?
You know, I have never had a customer use crypto to pay, even though we offer it as a payment option. Unfortunately, we don't have people paying with it, and it's sad. Like you said, a lot of people don't even use it. There are ways for you to use it if you want a debit card, like Binance. You can put it on your debit card now, and Block Card, you can use it through a debit card. But majority of people aren't using it to purchase things, and I have yet to have a customer who has. So unfortunately, I haven't experienced it, but I do give out some crypto. And like swap it out with other people. That's pretty much the extent of where my interactions with it are going with transaction wise. But yeah, majority of customers, I have not had one yet pay with crypto.
Okay. Yeah. So you're educated on it. You're continuing to watch it. You're growing
Yeah.
exposure to it. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm interested in the discussion about uh, a play against inflation, which is kind of the discussion I'm hearing
Hmm.
about crypto, what
Hmm.
Bitcoin is becoming because of the.
Right.
What are your thoughts on?
So, well, that's today's actually the Bitcoin halving. And that's kind of what the whole inflation thing is with the Bitcoin halving. There's a limited supply of Bitcoin. So every 4 years you have a halving, which means after so many blocks are put in the blockchain, the miners receive a reward. And in the beginning of this whole stuff, miners were getting 50 Bitcoins for a reward for filling a block in the blockchain. So now we're all the way down to, at the halving, I believe now 9 or 6 right now. So now a miner will get 9 Bitcoins versus the 50. So it's going lower and lower. And after it reaches its maximum blocks for the blockchain, there aren't any more Bitcoins being produced. So that's where the inflation is good here. There's not quantitative easing like we have in fiat, where we're just printing. Here with Bitcoin, with the limited supply and the halving, there won't be any more printing, so it will be controlled. It will be a controlled currency. And a lot of people are leaning more that it won't be used like your money, your everyday dollar. It'll be used more in the replacement of gold. So they do call it digital gold. So the value, if you kind of look at the charts, the gold has remained the same price for the past 10 years or more. But Bitcoin, you've seen it's keeps increasing. And as the years go by, the all-time highs are going higher and higher. So it's kind of like, okay, there's a limited supply. You don't have to worry about inflation. You don't have to worry about quantitative easing where we're just printing more and more, because the supply and demand, it'll decrease the demand of it if there's just too many out in the circulation. So that's the great part about it also. And that's also another reason why people need to have some ownership of it as soon as they can. Even though there is a risk, and like you said, some people shouldn't buy if you can't afford to lose. But like I said, you could put as little as $1, $10 in, you'd see a fluctuation down the road, and you'd also have some ownership, and that's very important if you do want to be a part of the future. Because I believe this will be the future. This is where I feel we're going to head with currency. It's going to go digital, and I just really feel like people should start paying attention and learning more about it. And so with that having and all of that reducing of inflation, I feel people should take it even more seriously. Like, this is way better than fiat, and this is better than anything we've ever seen, because we're controlling the supply.
Yeah, and I think learning is important, which is why I appreciate you coming on to do some educating.
Yeah.
One of the most, so there's a few things I want to get into before you go. Before you go, I want to talk about Akon's crypto.
Okay.
Talk about Peter Schiff.
So, that's the gold guy. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, every time I bring up Peter Schiff to a crypto person, they say the gold guy. But and so he and I don't think share any similar worldviews. I came across him initially on the Joe Rogan podcast, and his stance against crypto, he's like, one of the most anti-crypto people. Bitcoin.
Yeah, people. He lost his key. He lost his passwords already. I believe he was gifted some crypto.
Somebody gave him some and he lost it.
Yeah, he lost.
Yeah.
They say not your keys, not your crypto. So that's important too. If you guys buy, make sure you have your wallet secured.
What is your thoughts on some of his sentiment against the?
I feel like Peter has I don't agree with all of his points, but I understand him because he comes from a different generation. So he's more like a safety investor. And this could be scary, like to people like Warren Buffett and other people who are not younger generation people like us. So I feel that he is just sharing like the dangers of it, which there should be informed to the audience. There are dangers, there are risks, but I feel like he's just kind of doesn't understand it, doesn't realize what's going to happen in the future. So he's still kind of stuck on that gold standard, which is still good. I feel you should invest in gold. I feel it's a good investment. It's not as risky. It's stable. You probably wouldn't lose as much as you would if in a volatile market like with Bitcoin. But I don't agree with someone just being straightforward and stuck on not experimenting with something or giving it a chance. Because I'm always open to giving things a chance, especially new technologies and things like this that can benefit the world, the globals on a global scale.
And so Akon started his own city. I just had a homie. Well, he's like a guy I met on Twitter. Also, his name is Mawe. He's starting a city in Zambia.
Wow.
And he's also launching a crypto. But because of Akon's celebrity, a lot of what he is doing, we catches headlines. There's a bunch of cryptos that have come up sort of post Bitcoin. Are they all scams, or are they valid? Do you think Akon's thing is valid?
Well, as an entrepreneur, I totally respect Akon, and I love his movement. I love what he's doing for his country, for his people, and the fact that he goes out and he gets things done, like putting the solar panels. So I feel that he has good intentions, and I feel that he has a lot of resources where the people could back that crypto that he's creating to support him, because he's got different ventures and businesses, so that could be something that they could utilize. But I have been told, like, I interview global leaders in the crypto and entrepreneurial space, so I get a lot of firsthand information. And one of the greatest things I've been told by Max Kaiser was Bitcoin is it. And I believe that. Like, we've seen in 2017, the altcoins, or you said, like, the other ones, some have been found to be scams. But we saw in 2017, those alternative coins, the other coins outside of Bitcoin, they reached their peak, and they have not gone back since. So a lot of the people who've been in this crypto space, they do not believe in any other coin besides Bitcoin because it's so solid, and it's just the only one that makes sense mathematically, and the other ones kind of like just jumped on board. I do like Ethereum because of the technology they're building, but will we see Ethereum reach the peaks it reached in 2017, like around $1,000? I don't know. It hasn't pushed back that since, and it's 2020 now, and still we're seeing Bitcoin is still maintaining. The stock market's dropped, Bitcoin maintained. These are signs that this is something that's steady. A lot of people own. Miners are in on it. Global people are in on it. Big investors, like I mentioned, Tim Draper, the VC who funded in Tesla, Hotmail, all of these, he's in on it. So when you have big names behind something like this pushing for development of technology, you're going to see growth in the markets for tools to use these coins, and then you'll see adoption. So I am pro Bitcoin solely. I believe in other coins too if they have a strong team, but I wouldn't suggest other people, for their first time in crypto to invest in those altcoins because they're very dangerous and they're very volatile. And also, we haven't seen those all-time highs since 2017. So do we know for certain, could Max Kaiser be right? Will they ever go back? I don't know. But based on the 3-year observation on the charts, they have not gone back. And the only one that's remained is Bitcoin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we've reached our time limit. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to drop some jewels or some crypto or whatever we're using.
Yeah. And before we leave, I do want to share with people who are new. I have a few things. Like a few important things about Bitcoin are if you're getting ready to get into the space, get a good wallet. When you're buying on an exchange like Coinbase or Bitfinex or Binance, that exchange owns your coins. So if that exchange goes down, like with Mt. Gox, all your coins are gone. But when you have a wallet like Bitcoin.com, a wallet where you download and your coins are in that wallet with your personal identity and all of that, they're secure. And also they have cold wallets like KeepKey or Trezors. Those are where, if you have a lot, you would put them like on a little USB. That's where you have true ownership of your coins. When you're leaving them on an exchange, you don't own them because, like I said, newbies or people who are new to this space, if they put thousands in an exchange and that exchange collapses or something happens, you're going to lose all of your money. So they have this little quote in crypto called "not your keys, not your money," or "not your keys, not your wallet." You have to own your keys. So get a wallet. You can go to Bitcoin.com. And also you can have a cold wallet. There's 2 different forms. They're called hot wallet. Hot wallet would be one that you use online, like the Bitcoin.com. A cold wallet would be like the USB thing I mentioned, a Trezor or a KeepKey, something like that, where you're plugging in, you write down a specific code, and that code you can never lose because once you lose that, you lose all of your funds. So people really need to be sure about understanding the fundamentals before putting their money in it, unless you're just going in for a quick buy and sell. But that's something I wanted everyone to know, just in case.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You got one book and one music recommendation before we close out?
Book recommendations, The Bitcoin Standard by Saif Dean. I take courses with him. He's an Austrian economics professor, and he has great information. The classes take you back to all the way to money and theory of Mises. So you're learning a lot of foundational economics, and you're learning how money and credit works. Then another good book would be Internet of Money by Anton Antonopoulos, which he's got a bunch of series of books. So I would get those and like dive in and get a good solid background and foundation in it before you even dive in.
Okay. And a music recommendation?
Music?
Yeah, just
one.
one.
I love all genres. So right now I'm listening to Chopin, just something classical, because it's nice and helps me to unwind during these crazy times.
Okay.
I don't know.
How can people get a hold of you?
You can find me on Twitter. My tag name is JUELLZ3. Z3 was one of the first computers. That's where I got that. But you can find me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Wright, or email me, jouellw@gmail.com.
Thank you, Jouell. I appreciate you.